Long Fox 8 investigation finds Mayor LaToya Cantrell could be breaking city policy and possibly state law.
Yeah, hundreds of hours of surveillance and Fox 8 undercover video show her spending large amounts of time at the Upper Pontalba apartments and occasionally staying overnight. Here's our latest investigation. Sunday, July 31st, surveillance video shows New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell on the balcony of the city's Upper Pontalba apartments, watering plants for nearly an hour. Sunday, September 4th, Cantrell goes inside the apartment and stays there for the entire LSU-Florida State game. That night, she never left, sleeping and staying in the apartment until she left the next morning, just before 10:30. On the morning of Tuesday, September 6th, our Fox 8 undercover camera found her returning from a morning workout. There's the view from the surveillance camera operated by the French Market Corporation. Cantrell returned from 40 minutes of exercising. Afterwards, she again watered the plants and left for work in a different outfit.
It doesn't look good.
We've reviewed more than 630 hours of that French Market surveillance camera, a camera set up right in front of the door that leads to the city apartment. We've also done our own surveillance, sending a photographer and producer to the French Quarter, where we found her watering plants, sitting on the balcony, and illegally parking a city vehicle in an area marked "No Stopping Anytime." What we've found has experts concluding the mayor is using the city-owned Upper Pontalba apartment for personal use.
Yes, it is very clear that the mayor is actually living there and not actually visiting or entertaining or using it for some sort of ceremonial use, some sort of protocol use. If she's there on the weekends, if she's there during Saints games, certainly if she's watering plants there, if she's coming and going in casual clothes, if she's spending the night there, it's clear that she is living in that residence. It is clear she is using it for personal use as her personal residence. So, and if she's not paying rent for that personal use, then it's a problem.
For decades, the city has used one Upper Pontalba apartment. In the past, former city employees tell us it was utilized for meetings or for out-of-town dignitaries or even the mayor to occasionally stay or use. But according to our investigation, that has now changed.
The problem is she does not own that apartment. That is not her apartment. That apartment is owned by the taxpayers of New Orleans, and the taxpayers want to receive fair market rent for their property. If the taxpayers are not receiving fair market rent for that property, then clearly we have a violation of city property.
Or it should be used for city business, whether it's meetings or dignitaries staying there like it has been done in the past.
It would be fine if it was visiting dignitaries, if it was for ceremonial uses. I don't think anyone intended for that apartment to be used as a primary residence for a mayor. I mean, if it was designated as a primary residence for a mayor, that would be different. But we have no residences in the city of New Orleans that are designated as an official residence for the mayor.
The Metropolitan Crime Commission has been conducting a similar investigation and has photos from neighbors in the area saying the mayor has been coming and going daily for 9 months.
I think it's another indication of the distorted sense of entitlement that the mayor has. So it's been well documented about her travel and her feelings that she's entitled as a mayor to first-class accommodations while she's traveling, which are contrary to city rules. And this is another indication of her distorted sense of entitlement as the mayor of the city of New Orleans. That's an asset of the city, and she's not the president of the United States, and that's not the White House. She's not the governor of the state of Louisiana, and that's not the governor's mansion. That's a city apartment supposed to be used for entertainment purposes, and for her to essentially utilize that as some additional living quarters is an abuse of authority, in my opinion.
According to the French Market Corporation, the city's apartment is 1,813 square feet, 2 bedrooms, 2 baths. The fair market value for rent, $2,900 a month. It's in a prime location overlooking Jackson Square, steps from the river, and some of the city's most iconic landmarks. The head of the Metropolitan Crime Commission says this could be a violation of city policy and state law. The city has a policy that states use of city property is for work-related purposes and not for personal benefit.
Well, I think that the state constitution says that public assets shall not be used for personal purposes. This is a clear case of a violation of the state constitution, in that. So it's up to the city now, the legislative branch, which controls the purse strings. They're investigated and have looked into her first-class travel, and we're essentially asking them to do the same thing with respect to her use of the city's apartment.
Our review of surveillance began with video from late July. In it, the mayor stayed at the Upper Pontalba a handful of nights. Most days she arrives early in the morning, changes into work clothes, and after leaving, usually returns until about 9 to 11 at night. The Crime Commission is asking the New Orleans City Council to investigate and ask the mayor to pay the city back for using a $3,000 city-owned apartment rent-free.
I think that's taxable, and I also think that the city is entitled to recoup that money from her. That's a misuse. I mean, the utilities, the internet, the cable, everything is paid for by the city. The city doesn't owe that to the mayor of the city of New Orleans or any other employee.
A city spokesperson issued a statement to Fox 8 regarding the mayor's use of the apartment. It reads, the mayor's usage of the city-owned apartment at the Pontalba is consistent with the usage of past mayors. The statement goes on to claim the most recent franchise agreement contains no rules governing how that unit should be used. And that, according to the French Market Corporation, this mayor and past mayors were under no obligation to pay for usage of the unit. The city sent us the franchise agreement cited in the statement. However, it doesn't relate to the city's use of the Upper Pontalba apartment. The franchise agreement is a 2013 council ordinance that merged the former Upper Pontalba Building Restoration Corporation into the French Market Corporation.